Hi clients and friends, Mike Brady here for the third quarter review and the fourth quarter preview. Let's start with the third quarter review. It was not that bad of a quarter. As a matter of fact, it was a wonderful quarter for the stock market. Let's talk about the economy first. The unemployment is at 9.7%, which is actually lower than what they thought. They thought it was going to accelerate up, and so the losses were less than expected, but still not so good at 9.7%. The profits were not as bad as what was expected on July 1st, but they're still not looking very good. So there's still a lot of companies laying off employees and having lower profits, which leads to those layoffs. The stock market itself has actually done wonderful, one of the best quarters in years, in decades, frankly. And so you might say, gosh, I wish I'd had 100% of my money in the stock market at the beginning of this quarter. Well, that's nice to say in hindsight, and of course if we could all rewind and know exactly what was going to happen, that's what we do. But we don't. We have to keep into consideration what the risk-reward ratio is. Going back to July 1st, we had just seen a wonderful up run in the markets from March through May, although June was actually negative. The risk-reward ratio was quite great, and I would say now we're kind of moving a little bit into the preview of the fourth quarter, that as we are starting the beginning of October, that the risk is still quite great for a nice big decline. There's an old adage that you'd rather be too early than too late in preserving your principal, and so I am continuing to be a little cautious, a little worried about that risk-reward ratio, and I would expect that the fourth quarter we are going to continue to have some difficulty. I would expect unemployment to continue to go up. I expect the stock market to go down, but let's pretend like I'm wrong. Okay, and for all of our society and for the economy, I hope that I am wrong. If I'm wrong though, let's still consider that what is the risk level right now, and I would argue that the risk level for a double dip, which is we had a dip, it came back up, and then this would be kind of like another dip in the market, that it would, the risk is still quite great. Now, if the market is kind of maintains itself or goes up a little bit, then as I'm talking to you in about a quarter on the fourth quarter review, we'll try to determine whether or not that risk-reward ratio starts warranting a higher equity exposure. Now this really is a good indication of having good diversification. Good diversification means, good stocks, bonds, and cash mix, and even if you and the right and perhaps alternative investments is a possibility for in the right situations if people qualify, etc. But also having within those categories lots of different diversification. Having 5 internet stocks does not mean that you're well diversified. Okay, you need to have growth funds, balanced funds. Within the bonds, you need to look at the durations within those bond funds or individual bond holdings that you have. So being well diversified is, I think, a very, very key ingredient. Plus, of course, looking at your own personal risk, because people always say, gosh, I want to take more risk and have higher return, when the definition of high risk, as I see it, is an equal or greater probability of losing money than of making the money, and people seem to forget that as they go into it. So my fourth quarter preview is still to be very cautious. My fourth quarter prediction is that the market will decline, not advance, and so I would be very cautious if I was you, and I'm definitely going to be very cautious with my own clients' money. I think that's it. I think that's it for right now. Thank you for listening. I am a registered rep with QA3 Financial. My firm is Generosity Wealth Management. My website is generositywealth.com. Later on this month, in October, beginning of November, I'm going to have a phone session where people can call in and listen to an interview that's going to be done of me in the next couple of days. So I'm kind of excited about that, but I'll keep you informed of that. Hope you're doing well. Always feel free to give me a call, 303-747-6455. Hopefully I remember to smile this session, as I'm typically a very smiling guy, but when I look at a camera, I forget to smile. So have a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.